Okay, we're picking back up here. We have finished the operating activities section. After that, our next section is the investing activities. So we have cash flows from investing activities. Okay. Investments, these investments that we sold over here, this was a source of cash. We had a $40,000 gain. We washed the gain out up here in the operating section, but in the investing section, we're going to recognize the entire $280,000 that came in cash. So cash received from sale of investments. Okay. And that amount is $280,000. Okay. Now, also for investing, that was cash received, but we spent money investing in ourselves. Investments can be investing in others, like stock, things like that, but it could also be investing in ourselves in the form of, in this case, land and equipment. So we're going to say less cash paid for purchase of land. Okay. We used, let's see, what was it? $328,000. It was zero. It's now $328,000 land. That is the amount that we paid for our land. Okay. Now the other one, we also bought equipment. So cash paid for purchase of equipment. We spent, how much here? $152,000. You see that's the amount it went up. Purchasing additional equipment. Okay. We are going to add these two up. Now the key, assuming it hasn't changed, has us adding them up and then putting it immediately to the right here. So 328,000 plus 152 is 480,000. Okay, let's see, let's put an underline in there. Oh, it already has it, excuse me. Okay, let me see if I can force it with this. That's better. And this one right here needed that as well. Okay, now, so what is the net amount of our investing activity? We had cash come in of $280,000. We had cash go out of $480,000. Now notice I do not have a negative sign here, but it is implied in this word less. So if you try to put a negative sign in front of that $480,000 in Cengage, I think it's going to count it wrong. Of course, it makes Cengage happy, but I'm pretty sure it does not want it. So this right here equals $280,000 minus $480,000. Okay, so this is a negative number. I have used a net amount of $280,000 in investing activities. So that section is done. Let's move to financing activities. Okay, so I have cash flows from financing activities. Let's spell it right. Okay, financing. What did I do that was financing? Well, I issued common stock. We know that here because our stock went up, and I also paid some dividends. The issuance of the common stock is going to be a cash inflow. The dividend payment will be a cash outflow. So cash received from sale of common stock. Let's get that in here. Okay, how much did we receive? Again, I tried to remind you up here that we have to add both of these together to get the amount we received from the sale of common stock. So this equals, oops, hit the wrong button, equals this right here, the $50,000 plus the $137,500. Okay, so altogether when I issued that stock, I got cash of $187,500. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is deal with the dividends. Okay, so less cash paid for dividends. Okay, now this is not a number that is given to us outright. So I have set up this T account to help us think about it. Okay, this is our dividends payable T account. Our dividends payable started out at the beginning of the year at 19.2, okay, and that would have been a credit balance, so that equals that right there. Okay, now what we're looking for is basically, the debit for the amount that was paid. We're told that there was, down here, there was a $96,000 debit to retained earnings. Okay, we're looking at dividends payable, but retained earnings had a debit of $96,000 for cash dividends declared. When we debited retained earnings, that $96,000 was debited there, and the credit for that entry would have been to dividends payable. So we had a balance of $19,200, and then we increased it by $96,000. Okay, we know that the ending balance. Let me put an underscore here. We need. Did that work? Yeah. Okay. We know that it has an ending balance of $24,000 right there. Okay, so this equals $24,000. So if we had 19.2, we added 96,000, the cash dividend that were paid is going to be the debit that makes it equal 24,000. Okay, I'm sure that's clear as mud. But watch the actual calculation here. Okay, you're solving. This is a simple algebra question. You're basically solving for x. Okay, so 19,200, the beginning balance, plus 96,000 minus x, okay, equals 24,000. And let me put something in here, let this know it's text before it has a fit. Okay, that is what we're solving right here. Hold on, let me take this one out. Okay, 19,200 plus 96,000 minus x equals 24,000. So how do we isolate for x? Okay, x equals, okay, we're going to bring x to the right side of the equation, and we're going to subtract the 24,000 from the other. Well, let me do it like I told you to. Let's see, 19,200 plus 96 minus 24. That equals x. Okay, so let's just do the calculation here with Excel. This equals 19,200 plus 96, 123 minus 24, 123, 91.2. Okay, that is the actual amount right here of dividends that were paid. And this right here, when we say x, that x is 91,200. Okay, we started out with 19.2. We then subtracted, the 91.2 when we actually paid it, but we increased it again by 96, and we end up with the ending balance of 24,000. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer than mud. But anyway, that is the amount we paid for dividends. Let's see, I got that in the wrong column. Let me move it down. 187.5. Take that out of there. Okay, wrong row rather. Okay, 91.2. There we go. So now, what is the net cash flow from financing activities is our next question. Okay, let's put an underline on this. Okay, we are going to simply say this equals 187.5 minus 91.2. Okay, this is another one of those cases where you don't put a negative sign here. It is implied by the word less, but I don't think Cengage is going to want it. So this is a subtraction, however, though. Remember that. So it's 96.3. So we've done all three sections. Operations provided $143,540 in cash. Investments used $200,000 in cash. Financing activities provided $96.3 in cash. So we have all three sections now. Let me underscore that. We're going to now just find a sum of this column. So let's find our handy auto sum button here since I'm on Excel. Okay, 39,840 is that minus that plus that. So 39,840 is the increase in cash. Okay, now look, 39,840. Let's come back up here. And you'll see 39,840 right here. We said that was the change in cash, and that's exactly what we have now. So far it's looking really good. So now we are going to add in our cash at the beginning of the year. Okay, cash at the beginning of the year, what was it? It is this number right here. Okay, and if we have cash at the beginning of the year and we add it to the increase in cash, we're going to get cash at the end of the year. Okay. So this equals cash at the beginning of the year plus our change in cash, or 625,760. I'm going to underscore that. I'm going to double underline it. Okay, that 625,760. Look over here. That matches our cash at the end of the year. Okay, so we have finished our statement of cash flows. Just a few things. Remember, this is always the intent here. This is always going to match the ending balance. That's how our financial statements tie. This is going to equal this, and of course, the beginning number equals this one right here. Just a few other comments too. You always want to have a positive flow of cash from operating activities. If your operating activities aren't providing you a positive cash flow, there's something seriously wrong. But there's not anything necessarily bad about a negative number in either of these two. Because you can see this is a negative number. We used up cash in investing, but it's because we were investing. That's a good thing. We were investing in ourselves. We bought land and equipment. And this is a positive number in our financing, but, positive is not necessarily great either. It's not inherently good or bad, but, you could just be issuing a bunch of stock because you're desperate for cash, and that would not mean this is a great thing. And you could have a negative number here, meaning you're buying back a bunch of treasury stock. So, again, it's not inherently good or bad because either of these are a negative number. If you have any more questions, let me know. Hopefully this will help you finish out your statement of cash flows.